Probably one of the first things you'll do is write the equation of a circle with a given center and a given radius. So all we really need to do in this instance is to take that general equation of a circle and substitute in our h and k and our r values. So if I'm writing this equation, I'm going to say x minus my h value, so x minus negative 2 becomes x plus 2 squared plus y minus my k value of 5 squared equals my radius squared, so 10 squared, just like that. And you can write 10 squared as 100, or you can leave it as 10 squared. Either is totally fine. Now you'll probably also be asked to sketch the graph of a circle, and that's pretty straightforward as well. We want to start by plotting the center. So the first thing you probably want to do is identify that center if it hasn't been told you already. Like if you just had the equation x plus 2, you should look at that and see that h is then going to be negative 2, the opposite of what it looks like it should be. So we know our x value is at negative 2. And then you can look at the y factored expression and see y minus 5 tells us that k is a positive 5. Again, it's the opposite of what you see there when it is in factored form. So we can identify the x value of negative 2, the y value of positive 5, and we can plot that point on our axes. Now the next thing we want to do is identify our radius. So we can look at that and see that r is 10. Now if it was written in the form of not 10 squared, but if it just said 100 and it didn't have the square there, well then that would be telling you that r squared is 100, and then you would square root it to get r is 10. Now that we know our center and we know our radius is 10, all I'm going to do is go 10 units out to the left, plot a point from that center, 10 units out to the right, plot a point, and I should even be able to label those coordinates if my center was at negative 2, 5. Notice what I did. I added 10 to that x value of negative 2 to get my right point, and the y value stayed the same, and I subtracted 10 from that x value to get the left point, and the y value stayed the same. So you can definitely label those coordinates as well. And now we can go and do the same thing in the y direction from that center. I can go up 10, and I can go down 10, and again in both instances I can label that. The x value is now staying the same, and the y value is increasing by 10 to get my top point, and decreasing by 10 to get my bottom point. So I have those 4 key points, and I can do my best to draw a circle in from there. And it looks pretty decent enough, and that's probably the first thing or two you will do with a circle and the equation.